Good morning. It's a cold morning. It's like the coldest morning that it's been since living here. It is 48 degrees outside. That's not too bad, actually. My mom lives in Idaho. It was like 20 degrees the other day. I did not sleep. Last night was not a good night for sleep for me. Woke up super sick in the bathroom, just not having it. So today's workout, the reason I'm still going in and training, I go in and train unless I'm typically vomiting. If I'm not vomiting, I'm in there training. So can't leave Jake hanging on a shoulder day. It's like Jordan too. Jordan, I don't even remember what game that was. Game 6 against the Jazz or something. He was sick, scored 45. That's my mindset going into this. Gotta focus in and make it the best workout possible. Sometimes when you're sick and things like that, you go into it not expecting much, and then all of a sudden you find out really quickly that this is what I need. I need to sweat it out. I'm gonna be okay. So I'm gonna turn the AC on my side just because I'm gonna wake my ass up. Kyle, I'm just gonna go ahead and put that heater on your side. Okay, we're just gonna do this all the way.
From Arizona, you know.
Imagine Dragons are my jam right now.
Negative, nepotism.
Name of the game today is shoulders. We're gonna talk about, actually I'm gonna be doing a voiceover on this, but we're gonna be going over exactly what the shoulders are made up, muscle fiber wise. My favorite exercises. You're gonna see probably my favorite side lateral raise today to really activate the lateral head.
All right, guys, so shoulders are 60% type 1 muscle fiber. So that means slow twitch. You can imagine shoulders having to stabilize a lot of just throughout the day, walking, using a stabilizing muscle. So that's why they're a little bit more slow twitch. Warming them up here, try to take them through various ranges of motion, making sure that we're working up all 3 heads. We have the anterior in the front, the lateral on the side, and the posterior on the back. Also warming up the traps and doing a little bit of tricep work just because my triceps were extremely sore, and a lot of pressing, shoulder pressing also involves triceps. So definitely warming up my tris. All right, guys, this side lying external rotation, great for teres minor as well as infraspinatus. This can be crucial to keeping shoulders healthy. I do them even on my chest days. I'll sometimes do these. All right, moving into our first real deal exercise. This is just the standing strict press. So we're not push pressing here. We're not dipping down. It is all that pressing motion. Now, kind of a crazy stats. Most bodybuilders have an anterior delt that is so much bigger than the average human beings. 5 times bigger typically is a bodybuilder's front delt. So pressing, is generally, we do a lot more horizontal and vertical pressing. So a lot of times people, bodybuilders, overemphasize front delts. This is our big primary strength movement though today. As you can see, we're getting after it here. It gets super heavy right here. As you guys can see, I did have to use a little dip on that last one. So straight into our second pressing exercise, getting that anterior delt work out of the way. Straight in, this is just a single arm dumbbell. Superset with a Cuban press. Now this is really a great one for more rotator cuff work. We're using a wide grip upright row to then rotate the bar around the head and then just finish off with a press. I think like the Cuban national team, the Olympic lifting team, we're doing these and just killing people. So we call them Cuban presses. So rep range here, about 8 reps in total, and trying to finish over top of the head. I think I only get maybe 6 on one of these here on my last set. Again though, love the range of motion. As you can see, the dumbbell's a little bit even behind my head when I finish off. And again, you have to have healthy shoulders to be able to do this. Getting back to the shoulders, most bodybuilders 5 times bigger anterior delt. Their lateral head is 3 times bigger, and their posterior delt head is only 10 to 15% bigger. So you can see most bodybuilders definitely get a lot of anterior delt work. So this is really going to be all we're going to be doing for that anterior delt. We're getting a little bit here too with that finishing superset movement here. So the single arm press, straight to the Cuban press, and then rest. Next up, we have a single arm upright row. We're going to be supersetting this with a incline facing lateral raise. So obviously the main thing here is we're trying to work that lateral head. Now you're going to notice a lot of people are going to cry, Steve, that's going to give you an impingement. Doing lateral raises this way is the only way to really activate that lateral head. If you keep your arms ahead of you forward, it's going to be more anterior delt. This is actually a tri-set, so we're doing some posterior, some rear delt work here. We're also getting a little bit of trap work here. Anytime your elbow is higher than your shoulder, your trap's going to come involved. So I try to come to the top. Doing 10 to 12 reps on all of these. So this lateral raise, your elbow, your shoulder, and your wrist should all be in one line if you look at it from the side. Elbow is almost completely straight, and again, this is not the best movement if you don't have healthy shoulders, but this is the best way to activate a lateral deltoid. Straight into that rear delt fly. Ideally, I wouldn't be coming all the way down. I'd be stopping just short of coming totally vertical. Our finisher here, our last superset is our cable standing lateral raise. I love finishing off with back-to-back lateral raises because for me being tall, that's a hard area for me. So I get 8 here and then I cheat the last 2 up and I fight on the way down. So that's a force negative. I'm gonna cheat and get the weight up after I think my 7th or 8th one, and I'm gonna fight it on the way down though. I love using cables because it just provides an extra resistance that's not gravity. Supersetting here with a shrug, just dropping the pin, keeping that behind us, working a little bit of trap. I don't wanna get my traps too dominant, so this will suffice. Last exercise we're doing in this tri-set is a reverse pec deck. So this is also working posterior delt, getting a lot of rear delt and lateral delt here just because, again, most people love to press, bench press, push press, all this horizontal and vertical pushing. We got to offset that. You have to have a balanced shoulder. So we're doing lateral raises, supersetted with the shrugs and the reverse pec deck. So it's actually not a superset, it's a tri-set. And you can see I'm pulling from behind my back. This is just gonna make sure that I'm not pulling in front of my body. If I was pulling in front of my body, I'd be just naturally involving a little bit more anterior delt, and I'm trying to minimize that. I pull up a little bit over my head on these, and again, that involves a little bit of trap. I make the weirdest gym faces. Back to the shrug. Again, no rest in between. I take a rest after the reverse pec deck. I rest for a minute. And as you can see here, I'm trying to come past 180 degrees here with both arms. Elbows are almost all the way straight. Last set here. Last set, best set. So I guess I lied to you. I didn't really count this as my working sets. This is just more shoulder health, just Y, TW. So I do the first Y is just straight out to the top. The next is a T coming out to the side, and the last one is a W. This right here is a W.
You know it's a good shoulder workout when you gotta hold up the camera with your off arm. That's a complete shoulder workout. Let me know if you guys like these voiceovers. We're gonna be doing a lot more workouts. Thinking about doing daily workouts for you guys on YouTube as once we get the gym open. Let me know what you guys wanna see below, what you like, what you don't like. We're gonna be doing more functional work coming up. So I wanna get better at things like handstand walks. I wanna do a pegboard, boxing. That's just me. Always doing the bodybuilding stuff, but bringing in, incorporating those other things. New Gymshark shirt drops at 26. It's called the Ease. This is the sleeveless one. I've been wearing these non-stop for the last week. We're gonna put that link in the description to Gymshark. Adios guys, time to go eat.